Cere Network is the first decentralized data cloud platform built on Polkadot and is the world's first blockchain-based storage solution that is optimized to capture interactions between users, NFT assets, that is, as well as applications which are individually signed or encrypted, and along with the potential value of transfers. Now, we are truly lucky to have with us the Director of Engineering at Cere Network and the co-founder of Carbon Mint Initiative. He has also held key engineering leadership roles at a various number of Silicon Valley startups. Now, this includes D-Link, Nightfire, and many more. And Nightfire, to be specific, is backed by Sequoia and NEA, right? So now let's give it up for Prasanna from Cere Network. And guys, if you have any questions for him during the talk, do ask us your questions on Twitter, tagging us at _Polkadot_India, and Prasanna is sure to answer right away for you. Right? Prasanna, it's an absolute joy to have you here and truly excited about what you have to share with us. Over to you. Over to you, Prasanna.
Great. Thank you. So will I have control on this?
Yeah.
No, right.
Request for it?
Yeah, please. Next slide, please. Yeah, so I just wanted to start out by, actually, after that brilliant talk from Sai, I think every one of us actually knows what Metaverse is, but I thought, I just wanted to take a moment and say how, we're at the cusp of this change that's happening, and how we're transitioning from like a real to, like, I feel like we're almost like in a Star Trek movie nowadays, right? We're getting into that kind of into that of a world that is virtual and some almost sci-fi kind of, we feel like I'm living in a sci-fi kind of world where we from like shopping, meetings, and everything from like Satya was saying, from the factory floor to the meeting room, all of them, we are starting to participate in this metaverse. Next please. So I think this is very apt from Mark Zuckerberg. Basically, we're starting to feel this, where we would be able to sit, this very Zoom call could be happening, with us sitting around, even though we are like thousands of miles apart potentially. So it's an amazing time. Yeah, please keep going to the next one, please. So it's like, this is something that is, I was talking to a CEO of like Trace Labs the other day, who, they just launched something called Buddy, which basically you can create your own realistic looking avatar in Metaverse and start using it, as an NFT. And that's starting to happen already. I think Metaverse is awesome for a number of reasons. As Sai so eloquently described the differences between augmented reality, virtual reality, and Metaverse. The augmented and virtual reality are inherent part of this experience, and it enables, this Metaverse enables a new level of experience of the internet, including like working, collaborating with people. We're starting to see shopping, fashion happening on Metaverse, social events, games, of course. All of this, though, from basically at the same time also happening along with usage and creation of assets, both fungible and non-fungible, as you experience. Like, for example, you're now starting to see scenarios where as you tweet something, you can create an NFT for it. What you're trading, that's like, a social asset, for example. And then we're also starting to see physical and virtual worlds kind of merging. Like, for example, the fashion industry, again, Trace Labs example, they are, like you can wear a specific jacket and go into metaverse, and then actually buy it in the physical world. So it's, you're starting to see these worlds coming together already. So I just find that, this is a very awesome technology that we're, starting the journey on. Next slide, please. So from Cere standpoint and from the data lens and how we see the world, I thought I would describe what the stack might look like, as we go deeper into this metaverse. So at the very bottom layer, you have decentralized storage. So you don't depend on any corporation. You don't surrender your data to any entity like that. You own your data, and you securely store data basically out on the internet, and basically pull it whenever you need, and treat that as an asset that you own and you can have control over. And on top of that, the bottom layer of that storage, you have encryption, and in Cere we support multiple levels of encryption. Like, for example, if you have a piece of data, you can say, I want to share one part of the data to the public, another part with certain people, and part completely private to yourself. So that allows basically like maximum flexibility in terms of how you own and use and share your data. Indexing of data for fast access to the data. One of the issues with the decentralized storage today is performance and the ability to search on the decentralized storage, and we think it's a very important function that we have to support there. Then sharing, how do you share the data that you own with maybe one person, multiple people, the whole world. So being able to turn on and off the sharing without compromising security is a hugely important feature that we believe that is needed, and we support. The next thing in that layer is, we think analytics. Analyzing the data that you have, whether you are an app or whether you're an individual, and taking decisions based on the analytics and building intelligence on top of it is supremely important, I think. The next layer, the machine learning is exactly that, like, building, intelligence, again, whether you're a brand, whether you're a great game, or an app, this is going to be extremely important. And then, of course, querying tools and support is also, it gives you access to the data. And on top of that, you have a series of toolkits, SDKs, services, all allowing you to use this data that you have in the metaverse games and malls and physical spaces, virtual spaces, applications, and so on and so forth. And then they're, of course, connected to blockchains to support creation of assets and ownership and selling and all of that. And on the right-hand side, you also have now the ability to run, basically sell data at the granularity that you want. Like, for example, if you want to say filter, share only a certain demographic, data for analysis by a data science specialist, you could do that. So these are the pieces that we see as important from data lens as we embark on this metaverse journey. Next slide, please. So so from Cere point, we think of things as in two big buckets. One is the decentralized, what we call decentralized data cloud, where you have data data ownership, your key, your data, and then SLA backed availability is extremely important. It's not enough to store the data on a disk somewhere, but it needs to be available and needs to have all the CDN caching and all of that without compromising on security. Sharing of data, we have already talked about it. Encryption, we support natively in the DDC, and then another important feature is data sovereignty. You want to have data, you want to respect the laws of the land, and make sure the data resides, for example, in your geographic region, because of legal or any other requirements. So we support these things. And on top of that, we have a what is called decentralized data infrastructure, where using blockchain technology, you can create assets right from the middle of a game. You can trade your NFTs, and we also have an NFT-based experience stack that we call Da Vinci, where like creators can reach directly to their audience, their fans, and market their content, whether it is video, audio, music, etc., etc. Our stack also includes personalized and targeting engine, where if for example, in the previous example of NFT experience being offered by an artist to their fans, you can target your experience to a certain demographic or geographic region and things like that. And then we have loyalty based rewards and tokens and coupons and things like that. So basically, this is all coming together using NFTs as a mechanism to unlock experiences of creativity, content, and commerce happening through that. And then finally, machine learning for building intelligence on the data that you're capturing, and monetizing the data and then selling it is the ultimate goal that we would like to see happen. Next slide, please. So here is a view of our stack. So on the right-hand side, we have our DDC core DDC, which is powered by a substrate-based blockchain with validator nodes and data nodes, completely decentralized storage. In the middle, you see the various services that I just mentioned. Whether it's payment abstraction, machine learning, modeling, wallets, identity, SDKs, all of that. And on the left, you see our applications, where we have something called Freeport, which basically packages all of NFT minting, trading, royalties, and joint accounts, configurable royalty streams, all of that into a packaged solution, which can be white labeled and used without you having to write any smart contract code and things like that. And finally, the DaVinci platform for content distribution, for content creators to directly reach out to their fans, and also for brands and enterprises to start offering content based on like NFTs and so on. We're actually working with a large media streaming company called LiveOne to deliver content on their platform using exactly this technology. Next slide, please. So this shows kind of how our DaVinci experience, it's kind of to give you an idea of different possibilities. So in this model, what we do is basically we create online exhibits and access to those exhibits as NFT-based tickets, and the tickets themselves are also collectibles. And then you use those tickets to distribute content, and then it's like going into a museum, and then you buy a ticket which is an NFT, and then you go inside the museum. You enjoy the exhibits inside the museum, and maybe even purchase more content, premium content inside that exhibit. And the infrastructure that we provide has the royalties all packaged, configured at the time of the launch, so that every sale and resale basically results in a payment back to the creator, and the creator has complete control over how to market their content, and they don't have to rely on big content distribution platforms to do that. They can launch on their own as well and get paid, and not give up their cut to these platforms. Okay, next slide, please. So yeah, please go to the next one. So some of the use cases that we see, some examples of the use cases, content publishing. We're working with several artists to deliver content directly to their fans. We're also working with the Indian artist Manju Lakshmi on their Wife of Ram movie to deliver some behind the scenes and unique content to their fans, right? So like that, we have some Hollywood celebrities and World Cup photography winner, delivering all of these exclusive content through NFTs as a ticket mechanism. We're also building as I mentioned in the stack, brand loyalty and reward programs, also based on the NFTs and blockchain technology, and unlocking privileges. Like for example, if you buy an NFT, say to an exhibit, then the artist might decide that my early adopters, I'm going to give them extra content or additional exclusive content to the early adopters, for example. So you could be selling, they could be selling merchandise, like T-shirts maybe, or clothes or shoes, all of that based on what you have done, what you have purchased earlier. And then we also envision in-game asset like NFT creation, or audio, video, visual images, and so on, and selling right from within games, and also NFT based, like memberships and access to clubs, things like that. These are some of the metaverse scenarios and use cases we see through our stack. So that's I think the last slide. I'm open for questions.
Sure. Thanks so much, Prasanna. I think for those who are really planning to deep dive into this, at some point they'll have to come across all of this to get it big out there. So thank you for all this knowledge that you've transferred to us. We do have a couple of questions for you. So let me just start off. Firstly, right now there are a bundle of metaverses available. So how do we decide that metaverse is there for the long run or not? And what are the key points to be considered by a person before investing or getting out there onto that particular platform?
Well, I don't have like a magic answer to the question whether they'll be around or not. But one thing I can definitely say though is the digital assets that you store on a decentralized storage like ours are there forever. So for example, if you buy a high resolution Beeple kind of digital art, or then we make sure through our decentralized data cloud and through encryption and SLAs based nodes, that your assets are secure, they're always available, you can use them. That much we can say, right?
Yeah.
So whether a metaverse project how long it will last, whether it will be there or not, that's something clearly I'm not qualified to answer.
Sure. Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And what was the other part? It's something about investment into metaverse.
Yeah, when does someone know it's the right one to invest in? Like even within the metaverse world, there are multiple platforms that one can get onto. Like how does one choose that platform, or what are those basic criteria? Because everyone looks great, everyone sounds great. So how does one choose a particular metaverse platform to be a one that grows or has the right audience in it?
Well, again, a pretty tough question to answer, obviously, right? But like with everything, I would say do your homework. Check out basically the pedigree of the of the founders. Check out the concept. Check out basically you have to study it, right? And there's no short answer to what is a like it's like asking what's a good stock to buy,
right?
I don't know, it might be different for you and different for me. So I'm sorry, but we're not able to answer that question.
I think that perfectly answers the question, that there is no specific answer to this. Right. Okay, one more for you, and this one's more on a personal note, Prasanna. So basically when Olympus came out with their own DAO, before we knew it, there were forks to it. And Cere, being a pioneer at DDC, or decentralized data cloud, what's your perception of having remakes of your conception?
You mean when you say remakes, changing
like in the DDC platform? What do you think? What is your perception of the competition ahead of you in the DDC world?
Well, there is a pretty good competition out there, so and I think it's a great thing, right? I mean I think like Sai was saying, it drives innovation, but so our approach is also somewhat unique in that we have focused from the very beginning on not just NFTs, not just images, but also enterprise applications. Like our stack allows you to store, for example, in a game, storing like a series of user events, and then collect that data, index it, run analytics intelligence on top of it, and make that better, make that product better, make that experience better for the users. So it's not just focused only on data capture, but also ensuring that the data is, first of all, available, it is secure, and then it's useful and usable, right? From many different angles, like having the ability to index and query and share, and then run intelligence, and then ultimately use that in a way that makes the whole platform and application better, without compromising the fundamentals of like security and so on, right? So we see that the picture slightly differently. It's not just only about putting a file there and then saying, give me ₹2 for that file, right? It's not just that. It's like much more of like, it's like a stack of things that built on top. Yeah.
True. It is quite a complex one to answer in one session, definitely. A final one for you, Prasanna. So what was your one point of challenge in your journey, more to say, and what was that one point of motivation that kept you going, if we can hear from your entire experience so far?
Well, I mean, so challenge wise, it's anytime you're doing something new and something like in blockchain space, right? It's like Wild West. Everything is changing all the time. My head spins looking at all the changes that are happening. So just keeping up with those, and then finding the right team, and into a form that gels well, and becomes is productive, and just the usual engineering stuff is and getting it done on time, and releasing it and so on. It's like it's a challenge in itself, right? I mean, it's something all software teams go through, and all startups go through, right? So so what's the other part? Challenge
and your upside of it. What keeps you going? What keeps you going?
Yeah, that's easy. Because it's a very, as I said at the start of this conversation, I mean, I feel like I'm in a sci-fi movie, right? It's like when I was a kid, Star Trek is like big deal, right? Star Trek first part, and we were used to get that in black and white, right? Not color TV. And from there, to see some of those things, you just tap on and then talk, right? You can do that today.
Yeah.
Right. So so going into that sci-fi, artificial intelligence, data, Android in Star Trek, it's now becoming reality in front of your eyes. Those things are happening every day, and that's like both exciting and also scary in some ways. But
yes,
right? So it's a great time to be in this space, I think.
Yeah, thank you. This was absolutely great, Prasanna. Thank you so much for being around. And we wish to do a lot more with you, have maybe more sessions with you and the community together. So yeah, we'll stay in touch with you. And thank you so much for this again.
Great. Thank you, Ananya and Amit and Sriharsha. Sorry about the technical stuff early in the call, but yeah, thank you.